There is a verse in Matthew that I have always wondered about and questioned. So I think I have found the treasure and the translation and the power and the love behind this verse. The verse comes from Matthew chapter 8, verse 20. And it says, a scribe is coming up to Jesus, and the scribe says, "Teacher, I shall follow you wherever you go." And then Jesus said to him, "The foxes have dens, and the birds of the sky have nests, but the Son of Man has nowhere to lay his head." What in the world? We all know that Jesus did not live in a grand mansion while here on earth. We all know that Jesus did not own real estate while here walking on earth in the physical sense. We all know that Jesus did not have a 9-to-5 career job, as we know from as he walked on the earth. So what does it mean that he had nowhere to lay his head, but all of the animals of the world have a place to call home? Well, I believe the power goes all the way back to Genesis 1, and it also goes all the way back to the alphabet, the Aleph Bet, which is the alphabet in the Hebrew language. And I'm going to look first off at the first two letters in the alphabet. Now, already you are familiar with the letter Aleph. Aleph, as you well known over the past videos, symbolizes the strength. It in the Paleo Hebrew, which was like the Egyptian pictures, it was a picture of an ox. So the first letter is an Aleph. It portrays strength. It's the first letter of the alphabet, and because it's the first letter of the alphabet, the letter Aleph, it carries the number 1. Every letter in the Hebrew language carries a number. You see, every letter in the Hebrew language flavors whatever word it is in. So, for instance, the letter Aleph, and you know what it looks like now, kind of a funny looking X. It also is very similar to the Greek symbol of infinity. And saying that, the letter Aleph is the first letter of the word God. So Elohim, Aleph. Aleph is also the first letter of the word Ab, which is Father. It would be A and B in English, and it would be Aleph Bet in Hebrew. The first letter of the word mother is an Aleph. What does that mean? It means the letter Aleph takes us all the way back to infinity. The letter 1 is the only number that does not precede another number. It comes out of nothing, meaning that the Aleph symbolizes God who comes from infinity, and we find our parentage in him. All parents have the line straight past Adam all the way back to God. It is a very powerful symbol. And then you take the word for brothers. We're all part of that because the word for brothers in Hebrew also starts with an Aleph. So it means that you and I are all attached to infinity. That is a very powerful statement. The next letter in the alphabet, the Aleph Bet, is the letter Bet. Bet also is the word for house. The letter Bet looks like this. It has 3 sides. It is a B when there is a dot in the middle, which is called a dagesh. It takes the sound of a V when there is no dagesh in the middle. So what does that mean? Well, the letter B, the letter Bet, back in the Paleo Hebrew days, was the picture of a house. Stay with me here. Whenever we go to our homes, whenever we go home for the evening, whenever we're done from work or we're done from vacation, or we just come in from being outside and we go home, we take off our shoes, we sit down in our big easy chair, we get something to drink, and we relax. We are who we are. We are at our most comfortable person when we are in the comforts of our home. So the very first letters of the alphabet signify God and God's strength, and the house, the home. Now watch this. The letter Aleph and the next letter Bet, the first two letters of the Hebrew alphabet, also spell Father. So the first two letters of the Hebrew alphabet stand for the infinity God who created the world. Our Father gives us this home. So why did not Jesus have a place to call his own while he was here on earth? Easy. Because his house, his home, was in his Father. He lived in his Father's home, which was creation. The very first letter in the book of Genesis, of the very first word, Beroshit, is the letter Bet. Are you following me? Which means God's very first creation, his very first idea, was creating a house, was creating a home with his creation, with his children, that he could come into, that he can live amongst and be at his most natural self. I see nothing more beautiful than that. Today's Wednesday word is God makes his home amongst us. Will you make your home in him? Shalom.